Say, have you ever heard of Nintendo Land? Nintendo Land? Is that an amusement park? No, it's a game. What?
Nintendo Land, the game everyone thought was gonna be an amusement park of some sort. I mean, with a name like this, why wouldn't anybody think of it that way? Released on November 18th, 2012, for the Nintendo Wii U, this game finally allowed all the Nintendo franchises to officially reunite with one another, all in one convenient little package. I never thought I would ever see the day. It's a shame Nintendo Land isn't also the name of an amusement park as well, but hey, at least we're getting Super Nintendo World sometime this year. Oh wait, it's only gonna be in Japan. Never mind then.
So the game's questions are, why is Super Nintendo World only gonna be in Japan, and nowhere else in the world? Why are there only 13 attractions in this game, instead of 18 like a golf course? Why is this game not on the Nintendo Switch as well? And how is Monita somehow able to float in the air while disobeying the laws of gravity as a whole? Well, time to go to the amusement park.
The game takes place in a big theme park setting, which serves as a little hub world for the game's 13 minigames, which are all depicted as the attractions of the area. A strange floating robot named Monita acts as your tour guide through the game's many features and attractions. The 12 main attractions of the game are based on a wide variety of popular Nintendo franchises, but they are all modified to feature actual Nintendo characters in them. They are also designed to incorporate specific elements that each utilize the features of the Wii U gamepad, often in conjunction with other players using different Wiimotes and nunchucks. Heck, some of these games can even support up to 5 players in this configuration. 5, I tell you! But anyways, the 13th attraction in this game is an attraction tour train that is depicted as a tournament of some sort, and can be played for up to 5 players. But I'll be talking more about that attraction later on. The different combinations of Wiimotes and Wii U gamepads allows for what Nintendo calls asymmetric gameplay, where each player has a different experience depending on which controller scheme they use. Completing certain minigames and specific objectives will earn you some coins, which can be used in order to play a single-player pachinko minigame on top of the tower in the center of the hub world. Winning certain pachinko stages will earn you some brand new items and accessories for decorating the main hub world.
Wait, this game has a pachinko machine in it? And the Ultimate Mario Sunshine flashbacks return yet again.
Based on the Legend of Zelda series, up to 3 players can use their own Wiimote as swords to fight against AI enemies. Each player is dressed in red, blue, and yellow colors respectively, just so everyone can keep track of who's who. An additional player, who wears the color green, can use the Wii U gamepad to control a specific character located in the back of the pack, while using a bow and arrow for self-defense. However, if you're the one who's using the gamepad, you can lift your controller upwards in order to spy for sniping certain AI enemies. But keep in mind, you have a limited number of arrows to shoot in this attraction. And if you ever run out of arrows, just tilt the gamepad downwards to reload them. It's that simple.
Now these guys have it easy in this attraction. I mean, it's not like Link can just tilt his Sheikah Slate downwards, and then boof, he now has more arrows. It just doesn't work like that.
Inspired by the Metroid series, this here is an action-adventure type of attraction that is very similar to its original series. If you're using the Wii U gamepad, then you're controlling Samus's orange gunship. However, up to 4 players with Wiimotes and nunchucks can each control their own Mii characters on foot, while wearing various suits. The number on the back of your gunship represents how many hits you can take before your vehicle gets destroyed and you lose the game. But there's also a whole bunch of useful power-ups scattered all throughout each stage that can help you out on your space-filled adventure. There are 3 different types of modes in this attraction. The first one of these modes is known as Assault Mission, where each player has to cooperate with each other in order to defeat large waves of enemies and complete specific missions. The second mode is Surface Air Combat, where each player who has a Wiimote and nunchuck tries to shoot down the player with the gamepad. And finally, we have Ground Battle, where every player uses a Wiimote and nunchuck in order to battle against each other for earning special tokens.
Wait, you can collect special tokens in this game? Gee, I didn't know this was an attraction at Chuck E. Cheese's.
Based on the Pikmin series, you play as Captain Olimar as you command tiny little Pikmin creatures while using the Wii U gamepad. An additional 4 players can control even larger Pikmin with their own Wiimotes, while playing as red, blue, yellow, and white colored Pikmin respectively. Players must work together in order to help each other navigate specific levels and defeat certain enemies, including a boss fight at the end of each stage. After you defeat a boss, Captain Olimar's ship comes gently floating down to the ground. You can then hop inside of it and escape the level in order to complete it. This attraction also features a special versus mode, where each player competes with each other for some delicious candy.
Candy. Also, where the heck is Pikmin 4?
Inspired by the Super Mario series, this here is a tag-based game that takes place inside a large arena consisting of hills, slides, and other obstacles that can easily slow you down, such as mud. The player who has the Wii U gamepad plays as their own Mii in a goofy-looking Mario suit, who has to run away from 4 other Mii players dressed in Toad suits as they try to catch you by chasing after you. Mario gets to view all the action on the gamepad screen from a top-down perspective, kind of like Zelda 1 for the NES. He also has a map of the entire arena, and he can see where all the Toads are located. However, the Toads can only view all the action on the TV in split-screen mode from a third-person perspective, and they are each only given their current distance from Mario in either yards or meters, depending on the region of the arena. The Toads win if one of them catches Mario before the time runs out, otherwise Mario will end up winning instead. However, if there's only 2 Toads playing instead of 4, 2 computer-controlled Yoshi carts will help them chase Mario. And oddly enough, these Yoshi carts look very similar to the ones from another attraction in this game, which I'll get to in just a bit.
Yeah, you guys aren't finding out what that other attraction is just yet. Don't worry, I'm not one of those people that just spoils absolutely everything in a story every free chance they get, unlike some other people I know. What?
Based on both Pac-Man Vs. and the Luigi's Mansion series, up to 4 players all assume the roles of ghost trackers, and each one is dressed up as Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi respectively. Each player explores a spooky haunted mansion in order to hunt and capture a scary ghost, with the ghost being controlled by the player with the Wii U gamepad. Each level in the attraction takes place on a different floor of the mansion, along with multiple layouts of several rooms and hallways. All the action is once again viewed from a top-down perspective, while showing the entire floor and the location of each player on the screen. The tracker's main objective is to try and find the ghost player, who always remains invisible on the TV, but not on the gamepad. The trackers have to decrease the ghost's HP from 100 to 0 by shining their flashlights onto it. Meanwhile, the ghost player tries to sneak up on each tracker and ambush them in order to make them faint of sheer fright. The ghost's proximity to a tracker is revealed when that player's Wiimote begins to vibrate like a massage chair, and different conditions or events may cause the ghost player to become temporarily visible to all the trackers. Fainted trackers can be revived by the other players by shining their flashlights onto them, but keep in mind that your flashlight's energy is fairly limited. If your flashlight runs out of power, you need to pick up a battery item to restore it before it's too late, so watch your conservativeness. The ghost player wins the game if all the trackers faint, but the trackers win if they drain the ghost player's HP all the way down to 0.
Okay, hold up. Why isn't there a Mii costume for Professor Egad at this attraction as well? Huh. Maybe he's just getting way too old for this ghost-catching tomfoolery. Or at least that's what he told Luigi in the first game.
Inspired by the Animal Crossing series, up to 4 players control their own animal character while trying to collect delicious candies as a team before they get caught 3 times in a row by the 2 guards of the area, who are each controlled by the player with the Wii U gamepad while using both analog sticks at once. As the animal players collect more candies, their movement becomes slower due to the increasing amount of candies stuffed inside their hats, making it easier for them to get caught by the guards. However, if you start the game with only 2 players, the format completely changes the stash rules as a whole, where only one animal player has to collect certain candies and place at least 15 of them into specific stashes on the map, while avoiding the other animal player.
Man, just thinking about this attraction makes me want to chow down on some candy right about now. If only Halloween wasn't May this year.
Okay, so this one isn't really an attraction per se, but it's kinda close, I guess. But anyways, this here is a flying train that features a certain megamix of all the attractions depicted as a tournament. You have the ability to choose exactly how many rounds there are and how challenging the tour will be. At the beginning of the tour, you can choose whoever you face and which attraction to play by selecting from a deck of cards. Keep in mind that you must pick from the cards that are selected by the computer, because each of the cards have what they face, and which game they're located in. Most of the time, the computer only selects one-player attractions, but it will also occasionally pick something else in a special time attack mode, like a one-on-one Mario chase, or The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest, just to name a couple. In all these games, only one player goes at a time, and then the next one goes after that, except for multiplayer-only attractions. Your main objective in this game is to try and compete for the highest score. However, in the multiplayer-only attractions, whoever wins, well, wins. It's as simple as that! Each player who wins the game receives a total of 3 points. In between certain rounds, the players who aren't playing at all, if any, will instead vote on who they think is gonna win, and if they guess correctly, they receive a total of 2 points. After all the rounds are over, whoever receives the most points wins the game.
Okay, I'm willing to bet that this attraction tour train is the exact same one used in the Harry Potter movies. Just saying.
Based on the 1986 Japanese game The Mysterious Murasame Castle for the Famicom Disk System, you have to use the touchscreen on the Wii U gamepad in order to toss paper shurikens at certain waves of enemy ninjas. You can also tilt the gamepad to change the trajectory of your throws, as well as restoring all your shurikens if you run out of them. However, instead of shurikens, you have to use a katana for battling either boss ninjas or ninjas who are at close range with you, so watch your weaponry.
Okay, hold up. Why is absolutely everything made out of paper cutouts in this attraction? Huh. Maybe Nintendo wanted to build up the hype for Paper Mario Color Splash, even though they probably shouldn't have.
By far my favorite attraction of the bunch. Inspired by the original Donkey Kong arcade game, you have to use the Wii U gamepad's internal gyroscope abilities in order to tilt a trolley with your Mii's face on it through a platform-based obstacle course. In addition to the tilting input for moving your Mii trolley, you can also use the gamepad's 2 analog sticks, the L and R shoulder buttons, and the microphone or X button in order to activate various levers, elevators, and pathways to advance yourself through the obstacle course and save the damsel in distress Pauline from Donkey Kong, the big monkey himself. When you complete a stage in this attraction, the course board will flip over to the color blue, and then you move on to the next stage, and vice versa.
Okay, hold up. Why does Donkey Kong even want to capture Pauline in the first place? I mean, it's not like they have the same reproductive organs so they can have their own children or anything like that. At least Mario is a human too, or a Jumpman in this case.
Based on Nintendo's futuristic racing series F-Zero, you have to race down a track while avoiding all sorts of obstacles in 12 different stages. You hold the Wii U gamepad vertically and use its internal gyroscope in order to steer your vehicle when you rotate the controller. The gamepad provides an aerial and more strategical view of the track, while the TV provides a third-person view of all the action. You can choose to look at either type of screen you'd like, but I personally prefer the third-person view, so I can actually see what's ahead of me.
Okay, we all know full well that Captain Falcon is easily the hottest Nintendo character there is. I mean, have you ever seen him flex those sweet succulent muscles of his?
Inspired by the game Balloon Fight for the NES, you control your Mii attached to a couple of floating red balloons on a playfield similar to the main Balloon Trip mode. You do this by swiping the stylus on the Wii U gamepad's touchscreen in order to create gusts of wind that will move your Mii all around the stage. The gamepad offers a zoomed-in view of all the action for a more precise input for yourself, whereas the TV offers a zoomed-out view of everything for you to see more of the level, which I personally prefer. Each stage is divided up into different daylight sequences: morning, afternoon, evening, and night, which can all be cleared by landing on a little island in the middle of the water. Occasionally, there are these little packages that land on the islands, which you can then pick up and carry in order to protect and deliver them over to the next island in the game.
Okay, hold up. How do these balloons keep your Mii character afloat the whole time? Huh. Maybe he's so light from not having enough food in his stomach. If that's the case, then he better get some grub going before he starves to death.
Based on the Yoshi series, you have to use the stylus on the Wii U gamepad's touchscreen in order to draw a trail that guides a Yoshi cart that you can ride inside of all the way to the finishing goal in each level, while gobbling up all the fruit within the area. Sounds simple enough, right? But here's the catch. The fruit is only visible on the TV screen, so you have to use specific reference points in the level's background in order to draw the correct pathway on the gamepad screen. As you complete more and more levels, certain obstacles will eventually appear, and they will take your life away from your Yoshi cart if you somehow manage to lead it into one, so watch your trailing.
Okay, hold up. Why do you ride on such a boring old Yoshi cart in this attraction, instead of a real Yoshi like all the other Yoshi games? Huh. Maybe the real Yoshi got way too thick from eating way too much fruit in Yoshi's story. I'll bet he's still way too full after all this time.
Inspired by the classic Octopus game for the Game & Watch, this here is a rhythm-based game which is played by using the Wii U gamepad's 2 analog sticks and gyro sensor. You have to memorize and replicate the different posing actions performed by the scuba diving instructor on the screen, with each round getting increasingly faster as you progress through the attraction. However, if you miss a posing action 3 times in a row, a giant purple octopus will come floating down from above and grab you with its menacing tentacles, so don't screw up.
And now for the flaws. Let's get to them before this amusement park closes down for the night.
Well, really the only flaw that I have with this game is the fact that all these attractions just simply show off the capabilities of the Wii U gamepad itself, and that's it. I kinda wish these minigames experimented a bit more with the gamepad and what kinds of other things it can do instead, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see if an upcoming Switch sequel can make up for all this. Oh well. But anyways, Despite this one tiny little inconvenience, you just can't help but praise this game for its party-like atmosphere and wonderful attractions. I mean, the game as a whole just makes you feel like you're exploring this big amusement park of some sort, and because of this, I think it's safe to say that games like Wii Sports have officially met their match. Oh, and the gameplay and detailed HD graphics are pretty cool as well, I guess. Just wanted to throw that out there. That's all. So with that being said, I'm giving Nintendo Land a fairly decent 77 out of 100 Mario hats. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. Nothing else much really. Keep on riding on those exhilarating roller coasters, everybody.
Okay guys, so next time we meet, we'll be taking a look at Splatoon for the Nintendo Wii U. So you better get ready for a total Splatfest, because this game will totally ink up the place. And no, I still haven't gotten that whole Kid Squid song out of my head, and I probably never will, no matter how hard I try. Oh well. But either way, stay tuned for that, I guess. Oh, and remember, gaming is not a crime. Until then, it's stay awesome sauce. Mr. Clone, for the last time, Nintendo Land is not an amusement park.